All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the call. It is Sunday, April 29th. I saw
It's definitely April 19th.
just kidding, April 19th. Where am I looking? Oh, it is 19th.
Wow.
I don't know, are we still in March? March felt like forever. There was a t-shirt that said, this year's a leap year. There were 29 days in February, 300 days in March, and a year in April. All right, let's get to it. We have a special guest on here tonight who you've been seeing Zach and me shout out frequently recently because she's been moving very quickly. She decided to partner up with us in business about 2 months ago, although she's been using the products far longer than that. And in a short period of time, I mean, she went crystal manager within like her first week. She went director and executive this week and hit the 1-star bonus. She's had a lot of life happen between moving houses a couple times. She's enrolled in a leadership program that's very intensive and that has taken a lot of her time over the last couple of months.
She got quarantined by some people that made her stay home all day.
That happened too.
There was that whole thing.
So she's overcome a lot.
There was a global economic recession happening around her at the same time.
Yep.
Yep, just her.
But she decided that she said from day one, I'm going crystal executive in 60 days. She set that milestone for herself, that goal for herself, because she knew that what achieving executive in the comp plan would unlock for her in terms of the executive lifestyle bonus, the 10% match, and so on.
Go ahead. Yeah. So just to recap, for those of you that are a little bit new to the team, there are a lot of new names on here. So executive, what's that?
Yeah, thank you.
So executive is when you have 5 people on the left who have 2 customers each, and 5 people on the right who have 2 customers each.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mary Katherine achieved that in just around 60 days. And in the process of doing that, and I'm telling you, she was working. We did coaching calls, 3-way calls, like the works. She was in touch with us every single day. She worked hard for this. She earned over $8,600 in just her first 2 months of locking arms, amidst all the other stuff that's going on in the world that we're all dealing with. So a massive achievement, a testament to her work ethic, to her vision. What I'd love to do is I'm going to unmute Mary Katherine, and we're just gonna have a fireside chat. We're gonna interview her a little bit so you can hear what her process was like, and she's gonna share some really great tips with you. So MC, you are unmuted. Are you there?
She's unmuted.
She's unmuted. Let me find you. I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Do you want us to keep talking about you in the meantime?
It might be your speaker settings. Check your speaker settings.
It's weird.
She can't hear us.
Huh.
All right. Okay, bye.
She's gonna log back on.
All right. So in the meantime.
Yep. What else would you like to say?
So for those of you guys that, again, let's just go over executive again really quickly. So let's step up the comp plan, right? So step number 1 is going consultant. You have 1 customer on the left and 1 customer on the right. Step 2 is called they share, right? So you share, they share. And that's helping your 2 new associates grab 2 customers each, right? So that's crystal manager. And when you go crystal manager, you pick up a $250 bonus along the way. The next step is going crystal director. That means you have 6 associates who each share with 2 customers. And when you do that in your first 4 months, you get a $750 bonus. And then the top of the compensation plan is executive. So 5 associates on the left with 2 customers, 5 associates on the right with 2 customers. Do that within your first 6 months of becoming an ISOGENX associate, and you get a $1,000 bonus along with all your PIVs and cycles and all that stuff.
And also along the way, every time you create a consultant, so that's an associate that has 2 customers, every time you do that and you teach somebody how to get paid, you earn another $100. So you could do that 20 more times for $2,000.
All right.
All right. I'm muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we did it.
There you are.
Awesome. Yay.
Okay.
So just type in the chat box, just based on that quick description of the comp plan, how many of you want to go executive or excited to go executive? Just type in the chat box. How many of you guys want to go executive or excited about going exec?
Zach, I thought you were going to say type in the chat box just by her introduction or just by her saying, can you hear me now? How much do you love her? Not what you said.
Well, welcome.
Yeah. It's great to be here. Yay.
Congratulations.
So let's just start off kind of
start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning, right? So if you could just take people through kind of, never mind, we're changing gears.
Where are you going with it? Yeah.
The beginning.
Okay.
There's only one beginning.
Go for it.
Let's just start at the beginning, right? So at one point, a long time ago, you came into our organization. You came into Isogenics, right? And what happened for you then, right? And then what shifted for you 5 years later, right? And I think that'd be great.
I might get my vapors, everyone. So just, I almost, so when Eden, I will definitely answer that right now. I just want to say, even that question alone brings up emotion. And when Eden reached out to me this morning and said, are you open to, doing this call tonight? It was like, I wanted to almost say no, because I'm in such a open, like this push for executive is such an initiation into receiving, an initiation into, there's so much I want to talk about, but so I'm very like wide open right now. So just that question is emotional for me, because to answer that question, 4 years ago when I started using the products, of course I had an immediate like love for the products, and it took me months to just say yes to the product. So we'll get into that another time. But the point is, once I started using them, it had such a significant impact in my body that I knew I wanted to share it. And I went to NYKO and I came back and I said, I'm going to do this. And I posted a Facebook post. This was 2016 in February. And that Facebook post, because of my audience at the time, it went pretty like big and fast. And in the month that followed, I did exactly what Eden and Zach told me to do. And I enrolled 32 people within like 30 days. It was significant. And I love that this is the first question we're starting with, because at the time, so I stopped doing that because after having that big expansion and receiving that big expansion and success, I didn't have the place to fit. It didn't align with what I felt I deserved at the time. And I got into a relationship, and he was a guy with a lot of money. And I just was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go over here and do this other thing. And then 4 years of just kind of going over here and doing this other thing. And so the reason it made me emotional is because why this was such a big yes for me was because I was convicted in the deepest parts of my being that never again will I be a woman who's in a position where I'm making a decision to stay in something unhealthy or to do something I don't love because of money. And really what that comes down to is like the reason I said yes to doing this and coming back, and I can share that again. I'll let you ask another question, Zach. I could go on onto a whole thing, but really that was a really that was part of my journey at the beginning. Was I said yes, but I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold the receiving of all that success at the time. And so I took 4 years to find myself. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to share more, Zach?
No, it's up to you. So 4 years go by and we stay in each other's lives, right? Can you share, I think it's important for people to know, right? Because the big question.
We've been friends this whole time, for 5 years.
Can you share what that experience was like for you? Because I think a lot of people just don't understand how to trust that process necessarily.
Yeah, that's what was so significant for me. And was the fact that even after that, especially Eden and I, Zach and I have grown to love each other but Eden and I continued to be friends. And that was really significant. And you better believe there was part of me that was like, at first a little questioning, like, does she really want to be friends with me? Or is she just, and sure enough, after 4 years of exchanging like love and like support and helping each other through various things that had nothing to do with Isogenics, that really was significant for me. And I really was like, okay, this is a real friendship. And so through that friendship, I started to realize like how Eden had started to really embody and experience something that I had not yet gotten a knack on in my life, which was financial stability, and more than financial stability, financial abundance and success. And better than that, what I saw Eden had was leadership and influence and impact. And these are things that I kind of in my, like my darkest hour. I remember in December, just being in a place where I was like, we were on the phone and it was an opening and I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing this and I'm declaring to you that I'm doing this. And I know that you will and can hold me and in this. And I also was very humble. And I said, I've never done this before. I've done a lot of things and I've had a lot of, not success. I've had a lot of experience in business before, but not this. So you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And thus began the next layer of our relationship, which I've loved so much. But yeah, someone said absolute trust. Yeah, trust. It's a big piece to this for sure. And so, you guys, let's just take it down a notch, okay?
MC, can you also speak to, so that was December, then NYKO happened. What happened for you there? Then what happened?
Well, hold on, before you do that, just checking in with everybody. How many of you have already gotten massive value and are already learning things that you can apply right away? How many of you guys are already having major ahas, okay, that really helps put things in perspective.
Yes.
Never really even thought of looking at something in that way, right? How many of you are already having that experience? Okay, cool.
Also, just heads up, since we started about 5 minutes late with technical stuff, we're just going to go about 5 minutes over. So about 6:05 Pacific, just FYI.
Yeah, if you got to run, you catch the end on the recording.
Okay, so that was December. What happened next?
Oh man, so I made the commitment, it was a lot, but I knew that getting to an event was what was the catapult that got me in the last time, meaning being at an event and going to NYKO in 2016 was when it got into my body. There was like a frequency that I felt and a connection. And that's the connection not only to the leaders or the founders, Jim and Kathy Coover, but also just the people around us. And so I knew getting to an event again was the essential first step, essential step for me into getting to it. So I said yes to the event, got to the event, and it was after the event that I declared, okay, 2 months. 2 months I'm going to go executive, because for various reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is I know I had the sense that momentum was going to really be in my favor for this one, and I knew I had the time and the capacity, and I knew I was ready. I was ready, and I had the time, and I had Eden, who we all know had just come out of really a year of taking care of herself. And she looked at me and said, I will help you get there. And I was not going to take that lightly. And I was going to definitely receive that as a sign from the universe that we've got leadership who's willing to go alongside us if we lean in. And that's what I kept doing, leaning in. And she met me right back with the same equal energy, which is a huge piece as to how this happened. People ask me, how'd you get there? And one of the biggest pieces I can tell you is leaning on our leadership. That I tend to lone wolf it. In the past, I would be a lone wolf and think, I got this, I can do it on my own. And while there's definitely an element at the end of the day, those last final hours of this push to executive, it's like, it's you and you and you. And that's the real. That is the freaking real. You are up against all corners of yourself in a choice point. The choice point is one question. And that question for me was, do I matter or do I not? That's it. And for me, this was like a freaking children, a huge moment, a declaration to the universe and to myself, most importantly, that I matter, that my well-being matters, my financial security and my financial future matters, and myself and my voice as a leader matters. Anyways, so not anyways, every ways, that ways, and that's what, and so, yeah, leaning on leadership is a big piece. I don't know where I was going with that, but hopefully that was supportive for somebody out there. I'm trusting.
There were some big nuggets you dropped there. The chat box is just going crazy. You're providing so much value just by who you're being and just how openly and vulnerably you're willing to just share all this. It's hitting. I can feel it.
I really was thinking maybe waiting till next week is better because I'll be less emotional, but I'm so committed to being I know that my vulnerability is part of my strength. And so being willing to be seen in this messiness and the messiness of such deep humility, I'm walking around knowing what I was able to create with support, with trust, with God, with all of it, but that I did not give up. And I'm telling you, I had plenty of people, well-meaning people telling me like, maybe this is just because you guys, 10 days ago, I was at 30% of this goal. And I had people, well-meaning people saying like, maybe this is just not God's plan for you. Maybe like God, life has a better, and I was like really getting tempted by that. Like, I was like, oh yeah, maybe so. And then I just could hear the old, I was like, I was like, no, there is a part in me that has not been expressed in a long time that says, I'm doing this no matter what, I'm doing this. And so what did I get to do what needed to happen? I'll tell you what needed to happen. I'm just going to go into this. For me, I really have learned what took me from 30% to 100% in 10 days of this goal was a lot of things, but one of them was connection. I've learned recently through a leadership training program that I was actually deeply involved in at the same time while I was doing this, which was a whole thing. I learned that nothing matters more than connection. And what I mean by that is there's so many different things. One, I was disconnected from people in my life that had nothing to do with Isagenix because I was so singularly focused on this goal. So what did it look like for me to like trust and actually get back to the people in my life who maybe weren't part of my agenda to reach my Isagenix goal, and to actually be there for the people in my life who needed me during this phase? Now, does that mean, it was stretchy for me to do that because I knew the goal I had was big, but I also I knew that I needed to still, respect myself at the end of, and want to be around myself at the end of winning. Winning to me at the top with no friends is not winning to me. So I knew I really said to myself, I can do it all. I can not do it. Yeah, kind of. I can be there for the people I love. That's one. Two, the actual people that I was reaching out to, like really thinking more about them and what it was how I could connect deeply. And the way I do that is not only just by talking to them, but I actually pausing and breathing and tuning in. And we all have this gift to actually be able to feel into someone and really get to the deep, really felt sense of what it is that they actually want in their life. And how can I make a radical difference in their life? And connecting to that piece and speaking to them from that piece and holding them in a higher version than maybe they were seeing for themselves. And I'm still learning all of this. I just got to, and then Zach would send me some funny memes and some funny videos that helped me along the way. And when I say funny, he sent me this one video of this like football guy going across the field. And I was like, I got this. So it was a lot of like different tools that helped support me. But I did want to just say that like this connection piece is really, really important, that I'm still getting to learn as a leader what it looks like what is connection and how that makes a big difference in our success. And I'll say one more thing basically on that. My coach in this leadership program, his name is Michael Strasner, and he said, the results are in the relationships, or results equal. Do you remember what that is, Zach? What they say, like results are.
Your relationships are your results.
Yeah. So I had to believe, you guys, that like connecting and building relationships and staying in massive action was going to result in what it was I intended to create within 2 months, So that's just I'm just going to let that flow for a minute.
Super valuable.
So we've had a lot of really like intense and intentional phone calls during this, you and I, right? And you, Nina, as well. What were some of the things that really moved you through some of the more challenging belief systems that you had, thoughts that you were having when you felt yourself stuck or spiraling? What were some of the things that you allowed yourself to move through those with?
The one that's coming to mind the most is towards that very final finish line. And this is where, if any of you, and I have such respect for all of you on this, first of all, just for all of you in general, I am so grateful to be part of this group. And so many of you have gone before me and done this. And so many of you are on your way. And every rank that we advance, we come up against something. There's something particular about executive that's a real opportunity to meet different parts of yourself. And for me, I met the part of myself, and during that final hour, we'll call it a 48, 72 hour window, where I just came up against all my worthiness stuff, all my deserving, specifically around money, because what this would mean for me financially was significant, and more significant than anything I'd really allowed myself to do. And I can't actually remember in this lifetime for sure. So getting on the call with Zach, and he's so powerful, but he is so powerful and direct. Specifically, he's very direct with me because I appreciate that and need it. But he said, you feel like you don't deserve money. And I was like, Okie dokie, that is true. And his recommendation for me, actually, and I recommend this for anyone because I did and that's the thing, be coachable and do what your leaders say. And I was not messing around. And he said, go download the Byron Katie. So Byron Katie wrote a book called, what is it? You'll put it in there. And it's called The Work, and you do the work. He told me to download the worksheet and work the system as if money is I'm in a relationship with money. And so I did that. And for the whole day, it's like, I really started to embody, like, I deserve money and money deserves me. I started saying that I deserve money and money deserves me. I love money and money loves me. And it sounds so cheesy and trite, but damn it, I think it works. I think there's something to it. And yeah, money stories are big. I mean, whatever your thing is, I'll tell you this, it doesn't surprise me that so much resistance may come up around going for executive in this case, or anything big, because I feel like I met parts of myself that I've never stretched myself big enough to have to meet these parts of myself. And it was hella uncomfortable, but also like, leaning on Zach, I really, at the end there, Zach was my put me in coach guy, and so, but the money piece was a big one. Also at the beginning, something I found very valuable from Zach and Eden was, at the beginning, I was living in the land of no's. I'm talking swimming in no's. Like, I was a fish in a tank and there was just no fish all around me. That was the way I visualized it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, and I know we all, and so I remember Zach and Eden just being like, yep, you're just looking for the one who's looking for you. Looking for the one who's looking for you. You know how Zach does, and he repeats it, looking for the one who's looking for you. It's like some NLP shit that gets right into your brain, and you start to like remember it in the moments you need to remember it. We have a masterful freaking teacher in this man. And we've got a brilliant, freaking amazing woman in Eden. We all know that. So, and I resonated with that so deeply, and it started to evolve for me. And I just want to share this. We are looking for the ones looking for us. And for me, I even shifted that, especially with Corona, with everything that happened. I started really meaning it too. I am praying for the ones praying for this. I'm praying for the ones praying for this. I'm looking for the ones praying for this. That's what I should say. I'm looking for the ones praying for this. And that took it so much out. Then it wasn't about me anymore. It was about being willing to say, are you open? 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 I was like an are you open machine. Are you open? Are you open? Are you open? Making new lists every day, almost new list of 80 people, 100 people. And I know that sounds like a lot, and it's okay. Like, but that's the plan. That's the path that I was on. And, finding my balance in that as well, but also being in a fully convicted space that this has been such a gift in my life from a nutritional standpoint, and such a gift in my life now in a financial connected, like you guys were part of my cell, Eden and Zach are part, this team is part of my, like, are you wanting connection? Some people are praying for just something to be a part of. And this is like personal development with a compensation plan. So there's so much that we get to like, to say, so to invite people into. And there's something powerful. And for those that resonates with, this idea of looking for the ones that are praying for you, I'm telling you, and I'll just put a little note in here, and I think she'll be okay with it. Julie Surratt, who you've seen in our team doing her thing, she was one who said, I was praying for something like this. So it was like we were like two chain links. I was looking for someone praying, she was one praying, and we linked up, and here we are. And that's actually possible. And okay, I want to just say, we are part of a company that has so much depth of spirituality, like spiritual richness, that there's a frequency to this company that starts from the top, and the people and the quality of the nutrients that we choose to put in our food, that we're tapped into something really special. And we as a team are able, you as an individual listening, are able to tap into that frequency. And I mean this, like, use it to your advantage, like really tap into a higher frequency of connection, like looking for people praying for this frequency in their life.
Powerful. You had mentioned Julie Surratt, and for those of you who haven't seen the posts in the group, so Mary Catherine, on her way to executive, also she helped to develop a crystal director, and she helped support Julie in earning over $4,000 in her first 2 weeks of building. Now, MC, one of the reasons why you said yes to network marketing was for financial independence for women. So what does it feel like to A, have helped another woman achieve those financial goals in such a short period? And two, can you talk a little bit more around the conversation of financial sovereignty for women, and how that's part of your mission?
Getting my vapors, just gonna let it be. So how it feels to know that I was able to help a woman that I love and women in my organization make $500, $100, $4,000 is a feeling that I think is still finding its way into a words in me. You know, I think it's something that I'll never get. There's a fulfillment in it that I never knew I would enjoy or even have the opportunity to do. I've been a coach for like 10 years and maybe mainly working on self-love and confidence and body love. And to be able to provide this solution, which is so significant in loving yourself as a woman, like really, it's like our voice, like being able to make our own money is somehow, and I'm still discovering it, and I'm committed to continuing the discovery of what is this relationship between our money and our voice, and that like, and really declaring like, I matter, you know, there's something there. And so to answer your question, I'm not sure how to describe the feeling, but it definitely is one that I'm committed to continue and expanding as I continue to allow myself even to receive more abundance in this life and giving in empowering others to do the same, other women. And I can speak more to the piece around my what's the word? I keep thinking it's just my never again. You know, we all have a never again, hopefully. And if you don't, then maybe you've had a really great life, or you haven't, sorry, hit your rock bottoms yet. But call me when you do. Well, you'll be in good company, I promise. But my never again is never again will I be making a choice to stay in something that's unhealthy for me because I don't have the money to get out, essentially, not essentially, directly. And I want to see a world where that's not a thing for women, you know, and not only see a world, I'm committed to help creating a world where that's not only that's not a thing for women, but that, and it's not, so they can be empowered with their money. So, oh yeah, there's one other piece of this that's actually quite fun. Another whole piece to this, I'm getting real deep and serious, but another fun piece to this is that, you know, when our money is cared for as women and as men, when our money is cared for, I want to see a world where women are rolling in their money. I'm so curious what a woman who's financially stable, what they're going to create. Like, what are they actually going to create? What are they going to say in the world? When our money is taken care of, that's the piece. Our voice, we'll just say what we actually freaking feel, you know? We've been cultured and conditioned, and I'm just going on, so okay, but we've been conditioned to, like, you know, play nice because we've been looking, we've culturally and historically, not, this is kind of generalized, but, you know, been looking for a man to partner with to take care of us and kind of in a way been pleasers. Well, when we're empowered around our money will speak what's our truth with love, always with love, please. And like, what will we create? You know, like, I want to see that world with women who have the money that they need, like what they may do artistically and creatively when what their soul is really here to do. And maybe that's to be a mom too, like really freed to be a mom. Whatever it is, I want to see that world.
So I'm all about it, obviously. For the guys that are listening, and I'm just real quickly, for those of you, for the fellas that are listening live or watching the recording, I think sometimes we maybe lose our place inside the world of isogenics because it is so female dominant and amazing. And fellas, what I want you to do is I just want you to take a step back and first of all, just honor the powerful women that we have access to and that we get to learn from, like Eden, like MC, like so many, starting at the top with Kathy Coover. But more importantly, fellas, embrace the reality that they're amazing, but more importantly, you also have access to introduce other powerful women into this community. And don't for a second think like, oh, I can't talk to women because of blah, blah. No, you can edify these women. You can talk about and tell their stories, because like MC said, like, we look for the people who are looking for us. And so don't for a second, quite frankly, emasculate yourself by thinking that you don't have the ability to confidently and non-sexually, quite frankly, have a business conversation with a powerful woman and invite her into a community where she can start to truly express herself and flourish. So that's, fellas, from me to you, like, take ownership of that, bro. You know, take ownership of that. Because it's a really huge gift that we have the ability to stand with them in. Really huge.
What's a final question?
Well, what would you like to leave the folks with?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Zach, I just want to say that Zach was a huge piece of what a healing relationship that's been, to have his support, and very healing in the whole like masculine, feminine dynamic, brother, like trust. To have his support to get to this level has been significant in my life on levels that, again, I don't quite maybe not understand. So to our men in this community, yeah, it's important. And you've got a great leader to lean on for how to even, if you want to know how more to be there for a woman in this industry, please reach out, or to him specifically on that topic, because we need you. We as women, like, I need my brothers, period. That's the truth. Okay. Yeah. So appreciate the strong men. So I would love to leave us with my favorite poem. It's another piece of me. And when I was financially stable a few years ago, actually, and I had that financial stability, I wrote a book of poetry, which was really amazing. And so, but my favorite poet, his name is Rilke. For anyone who knows him, holler, let's chat. He's a German poet. And it's my favorite. It's actually a quote. It's not a poem. He says this. He says, "You who are sent out beyond your recall, go to the limit of your longing. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. No feeling is final. Just keep going." And what I love so much about that, and why I wanted to bring that here, is you, my friend, sent out beyond your recall, for me, was like, go be executive for 2 months, in 2 months. Go to the limit of your longing. And for me, my longing was 2 things. And it's always been 2 things since I was the littlest girl. It was freedom and God. That's it. I want to know freedom and I want to know God. And I can't think of any better container than to find a place to stretch yourself big, like real big. And going for executive in a short period of time is an amazing container to meet yourself in places that, at least I can say for me, it was an amazing container to meet myself in places that I never gave myself the permission to go there. And I went to the limit of my longing, and I went to the limit of who I was, and I stretched myself, and I met all the gnarly, gross, victim-y, resistance parts of myself. And I love the rest of that quote that says, like, let everything happen to you. I can let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Let it all just freaking get in there. Because no feeling is final. Just keep going. So I think I'll leave it on that.
On that. Everybody show some more love. You already have it,
gosh.
MC, but show some more love to MC.
MC, you're amazing. So much value. I'm getting emotional sitting here.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you for serving everybody in such a big way. And you have no idea how many people end up watching the recordings of this as well. So thank you for sharing and for being open. And thank you, as I said in our post the other day, thank you for trusting us, for trusting us. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Have a phenomenal evening. Look at all the love here. Just take that in, MC. Take it all in. We love you all. Have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, thank you.
You're amazing, MC. Thank you so much.